Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, just a quick recap. So my name is Jake Maurer. I'm just kind of recording some videos to help talk a little bit about my weight loss journey. So I started in September of 2023. I was about 223 pounds and now it is July 9th and I am now about 179 pounds is what I weighed in this morning at about 20% body fat per DEXA scan. So that's kind of my journey. So today what I thought we would do is we would go over biomarkers. So those are like your cholesterol levels, blood glucose, hematocrit, all those types of things that you're probably working with your doctor on when it comes to watching things for your health. Because I think that's the other great thing about losing this weight is that I think you're going to find once you lose some fat, your markers are going to start getting better and better. And I think you're going to see in the data that my markers were good. And I think that has a lot to do with my genetics, even when I was heavy. But you could start to see it turn kind of bad there in the data. And so even though you're going to look better and you're going to feel better, what's really important is also you're taking better care of your body. So your biomarkers should improve. So without further ado, let's take a look at some of my numbers, and so you'll basically see my progression through my weight loss. So here we go. All right, so let's take a look at my numbers here. I'm not a medical doctor, so a lot of this stuff doesn't mean a whole lot to me. But there's just a couple things that I wanted to point out that were starting to become trouble areas for me. And so, starting with kidney activity here. So the dates of when I had the blood tests are up here, and notice that not everything was pulled in every blood test, but I did write down the things that I did pull. So about 8 years ago, it looks like my blood glucose was around 89, okay? And back then I probably was over 200 pounds, probably 210, 215 if I had to guess. And you can kind of see like it's kind of an inclining number or climbing number here. And then when I was at my heaviest, I would say about 220, I was at 106. And then even when I had already lost 20 pounds, that was in January of 2019. This was actually when I kind of went to my doctor because the fatigue I had talked about before was hitting me so bad that I just didn't know what was going on. And you can see my blood glucose was at 109 then. Since then, though, in 5 months of continuing to lose about, I think at that point, I think I was around in the high 190s, and then 612, I was probably about 183 or so, and you can see it's starting to drop. So this is one number that I am paying attention to, because I want to make sure that I'm not becoming insulin resistant. This arc in climbing number here is indicative of that. So I really want to watch this pretty closely. Excuse Ghost, barking outside for no reason. Triglycerides. Okay, so this is a number that is looked at as a health marker, and you can see it got pretty high. Like it increased by 26 points in 3 years, and then it kind of peaked here, went down a little bit here, which is interesting because it might have been my fasted state was a little bit different or something. I think that can throw off triglycerides a little bit, but you can see this rapid drop off in January when I lost weight. So that's a great indicator there that I was doing something right. All right, let's take a look at my liver numbers here. Let me zoom this in a bit so you can see these. I think this is a misprint. This should be 7.4. That would be really bad. I don't know too much about these numbers. I don't really track these in particular. Let's take a look at, I can't see because the light's in the way. I don't know what this number is. Let's see. That's my heart. Okay, yeah, let's take a look at my heart number here. Okay, let me zoom this in a bit. Okay, so again, triglycerides, I already showed that before, but notice it really dropped off big time on my blood test on 612. So already losing the weight really helped. My HDL number, you can see it was 45, 38, 97 in 2022, 42, 37, and 43. So that was kind of interesting why it jumped so much here. Could have been a different test or something. I don't know why it was so different. LDL to HDL ratio. I don't know why I have that twice. But, oh, because it was two different types of numbers. That's right. But you can see my ratio is getting really high here. And so LDL is the bad cholesterol, right? So we want to make sure that that gets lower, but this ratio is actually getting worse. Yeah, so just a lot of different numbers here. Hematocrit is something that I'm kind of keeping an eye on. You can see it was a little elevated in January, but I wasn't on TRT then. Now I am. I've been on TRT for about 3 months as of right here, so it's not getting too high, so that's not too concerning at this point. Platelets, I did ask my doctor about this number being kind of lower, and she felt like it really wasn't a big deal, so that's good to know. Okay, hormones, yeah, so this one is interesting. So as I mentioned before, when I got that blood test when I was having so much fatigue was on this January date here, and you can see my free test was 42 and my total testosterone was 156, so really, really low. Now notice here, I believe I got this blood test taken 3 days after injection of about 200 mgs of testosterone cypionate, and you can see that my free test is 166 now, so almost, what is that? Why can't I do math? Yeah, it's like 4 times the amount, so that's pretty interesting. My total test was much better too, and my SHBG, which is sex hormone binding globulin, those attach to. That's another basic hormone in your body, and they also attach to free testosterone. And if that number is low, you don't want that either. And so this number actually got higher as well. So everything was looking good here. They also pulled my PSA. Now, normally they don't pull the PSA number. That's for your prostate. So they don't normally pull this before 50, but they pulled it just to kind of keep an eye on it. And as you can see, like 0.45, that's super nominal. It went up like a 100th of a mark there. So not anything too crazy there. And then vitamins. So the one thing I was definitely low on was vitamin D. So I am taking a vitamin D supplement. The number that I'm really watching right now is this is the glucose number. And I'm also going to be watching my HDL, LDL, and ApoB. That's something that I'm going to be keeping an eye on too in terms of like heart health and things like that, and cholesterol, liver, etc. So those are the numbers that I'm going to really be keeping an eye on going forward. But as you can see, I'm supposed to get another blood test next week. I don't know what markers they're going to pull. They're probably going to pull free and total testosterone. They'll probably pull hematocrit to watch my blood thickness and some other things. SHBG again, probably. You can see pretty clearly, especially like in the triglyceride number is just totally insane on how that dropped. So clearly an indicator that losing that weight is having a positive impact on my health right now. And my glucose is continuing to go down too. So I'm going to look for that to be continuing to decrease. I hope so. I don't eat, I think for added sugars, let's just take a little quick look here at my, my macro tracker. And, sugars is more of a micronutrient, right? So it may not be something that you're tracking right now. And really, you got to be careful a little bit with tracking sugar because not all sugars are created equal. The sugars you get from fruit, for example, are a lot more beneficial than the sugars that you get from like bottle caps, which is my favorite candy, in case you were wondering. So if I look at it today, I've only ingested 4.4 grams of added sugars, and I've ingested 79 grams of sugars overall. And that's because I basically ate 2 pieces of fruit today. I ate a banana in the morning as my breakfast, and then I also ate an apple as a mid-afternoon snack post-workout to keep my blood sugar up. So yeah, that's it. That's my markers. So I'm pretty happy with how things are going. My doctor says that things are going in the right direction. So pretty stoked about the weight loss and the efforts there, and definitely paying off for my health. All right. And so that's my blood markers. So I'll keep you posted. Like maybe every time I get blood pulled, I'll post an update and just kind of show the numbers again. All right, folks. So there you have it. So those are my blood markers. Like I mentioned, everything is kind of trending towards the positive, which is a good thing. So as I continue to maintain my weight, I'll be keeping an eye on those markers, and especially because I'm on testosterone replacement therapy, it's really important to stay on top of your blood tests. So yeah, like I'll be getting another blood test next week, like I mentioned, and I'll post those numbers so that folks can kind of see the progression so far. Like I said, I don't know what they're going to pull in those, but nevertheless, it's good data to have. So hopefully everything's going well for you all. I'm getting some great comments and questions on each of the videos that I'm putting out. So I really appreciate that. But if you need to bounce something off somebody, or you have a question, or maybe even a frustration, or something's not working for you, put it in the comments. I'm happy to take a look at that and just offer some insights there. If you have an ask about a video that you'd like to see on a topic, let me know those too. I'm happy to kind of take requests, if you will. I probably need to do some more videos. What I'm thinking about for maybe some next videos is talking about some of the training that I do, both from a walking and then also from a strength training perspective. I'm mainly doing hypertrophy. I'm not doing so much strength training, but I am doing quite a bit of hypertrophy work. And that's a little bit different type of training based on what your goals would be. You'd kind of choose between either like a strength training, a functional training, or maybe even a hypertrophy training if you're looking to get swole, I believe is the term that kids are using these days. So anyway, stay tuned for that. Hopefully this was helpful. Keep up the great work. I know you can do it, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.